All right, we're going to take a look at using the area model to help determine the total outcomes of a probability situation and even tell us about the wins, the chances of winning, so we can find the relative frequency of the situation. So a really easy one would be me flipping a coin. So if I'm flipping a coin, and then I am going to roll a dice. Okay, my area model is going to have 2 options for the coin, heads or tails, and 6 options for the dice. So my area model actually is going to be more of a rectangle type thing, because I can either get heads or tails, and I can roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my area model looks like this. And this is getting a heads in 1, this is getting a tails in 1, heads 2, heads 3. I'm going to pause and fill this out. All right, that's the sample space of this particular situation. And if I said, what are my chances, or what's the relative frequency of getting heads and rolling a 3, I can look for that and see that it is right here, and it's only right there. So that happens 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times. That's 1 out of 12 times. Now there might be some particular situations that happen where we do without replacement, and we've been talking about that lately. So like, let's say I have a bag, and in that bag I have some marbles. So let's say I have 2 blue marbles and I have 2 red marbles, and I'm going to draw them at random. I'm going to draw them twice. So my area model is considering not red and blue, but it's going to be my first pick and then my second pick. So of my choices, when I pick first, I'm going to either get a blue, which I'm writing red, it's kind of funny, and a blue and a red, or a red. And my second pick is going to be a blue, a red, or a red. So my sample space looks like that. And there's my area model. So we got a blue, blue. I'm going to pause this, fill it out. All right, and this represents my sample space. Now, the interesting thing about not replacing, right now this is looking at if I picked a marble on my first pick, and then I put the marble back in, and then on my second pick, because really all of these particular situations can happen. So if we play this out as I pick the marble, and then I put it back in, my sample space here is a 4x4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 12 total outcomes happening if I'm replacing everything. And then if I'm trying to figure out, okay, what are my chances, or what's my relative frequency of finding a blue, blue, of picking that can happen here, that can happen here, that can happen here, that can happen here. And that's the only places where that happens. So it would be 4 out of 12, and I can divide that out to get the percentage on that particular thing to find my relative frequency. But if I'm playing this out where I am not replacing it, I'm going to put these away. Okay, let's say I'm going to replace it. Oh, I just did that. So let's not replacing it. So I'm picking one and I'm not replacing it. So in that particular situation, a couple of these things will not happen. Okay, so if this is blue 1 and that's blue 2 and that's red 1 and red 2, if that's blue 1 and blue 2, red 1 and red 2, or red R. Sorry, I'm making this more interesting than it has to be. All right, now if I pick blue 1, I'm not going to be able to pick blue 1 again. So this one right here is impossible. That will not happen. If once I've picked blue 1 out of the bag, it will not be in the bag for me for my second choice. Once I pick blue 2 out of the bag, I'm not going to have blue 2 available to me either. Once I pick red 1 out, I will not be able to do that. Once I pick red 2, I'm not going to be able to pick out red 2. So I actually have to cancel these ones out because those are impossible choices in this situation. So when I count up my sample space, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have now 12 options here. Now, if my particular game that I'm playing is what is my relative frequency or my probability of picking a red blue, I'm going to look for those. So here's a red blue, here's a red blue, there's a red blue, there's a red blue. Now, if I said it has to be red and blue, I'd be done. But if I didn't care about the order, a red or a blue, so here's a blue-red, which is technically a red-blue, right here and right here. And the other ones are all matches, so that is 8 out of 12. I'd divide it, get my decimal, turn it into a percent, and I'd find my relative frequency. So when I'm seeing something that involves not replacement, I have to look for those impossible events, because there are some times that when you take it out, you cannot put it back in. I hope this helps out a little bit. Keep practicing.